So far, we've been using a file with this main method to do all of our coding. To bring in code from another part of your application, from other libraries like the built-in java.util library, or from your own locally written code, there are two main ways to do this. The first is importing, which is done with a simple import statement. This is to import methods within a framework or from other middleware to use tools from a library, usually. The second is dependency injection. You can do both from any file. We'll start with import statements. Here I have three methods that return messages as strings. So far I've written two methods to return standard greetings, and I'd like to write a method that returns a message with the current date. I can use the date class from the java.util library built into the JDK, like so. And that's all I have to do to import. You'll notice I don't have a main method, so I can't run this file directly. I could still compile it, but there's no method to start as the launching point. So I could add a main method here, and that's fine, but ultimately you'll need more than one file for each of your projects anyway, and we'll want to group related methods together to keep everything organized. So we'll go back to a testing file with this main method. So instead of running all of your code in this main method, you're going to bring in methods from this greeting class and use them in your test greetings. Now, typically in this testing file, whatever file you have the main function in, the main method, you probably won't write any other methods within that file. Instead, you're going to call methods from other files within this test file. In order to do that, we're going to use what's called dependency injection. Dependency injection is creating an instance, what's called an instance of another class. So you'll need to create a variable in order to do this. So just like we did before, we're going to indicate the type first. It's going to be of type greetings. Now I'll give the variable a name. And then I actually create the instance. Now you'll need this new keyword to create a new object instance. And then you'll need to reference the class as well. So I've called mine Greeter app, but you could call it whatever you want. And now I can use all of the methods within this greetings class through this variable. So here I'm going to create date message. So if I go back to my greetings file, I can use this getCurrentDate method to return the date. So actually, I haven't returned the date yet. Let's write that method. So you'll see I'm using the same syntax here to create a new date. Now this date type is actually part of the java.util.date library. So I've created a new date, and now I'm just going to return a message with that date inside of it. Looks good. Save. And now I can actually use that method using dot notation. So I'm going to say greater app dot get current date, call that method, and then from here I'm just going to system.out.println current date. So using that Java C command, I'm going to compile this file. And when I compile it, because it's referencing the greetings class, it's also going to compile that file as well. Oh, I have a mismatching variable. Let's try that again. I'll save that and then try compiling it again. Okay, it compiled, and you'll notice here on the left that not only did the test greetings file get compiled into a class file, but the greetings file also got compiled into a class file. So let's run it. And it says the current date is Thursday, November 18th, 2021. So let's just review these two files side by side and look at the code flow. So you can compile them separately, but if you're compiling the file with the main method, it will compile anything that's referenced automatically. So it'll start with this public static void main, run this method, and within it, it runs line 5 first, and it immediately finds that greetings class and creates an instance. Once we've created an instance of this greetings class, we can use that variable to call any method we want within the greetings class. So on line 7, we create a new date message and set it equal to whatever this greeter app dot getCurrentDate returns. So getCurrentDate is a function that comes from the greetings file. Greeter app is the variable we're using to access that function, and what we're using here is called dot notation. So here we call the getCurrentDate function or method. It returns on line 7 from the greetings file. The current date is date, and from there it prints it out.